So people that are good public speakers, they're usually really devoted to their dad. We each have a gift that no one else has. And right now in this lifetime, I am meant to fulfill my mission. I'm not that therapist. I need to show you your blind spots. I need to show you where you are creating and an active participant in your own suffering. Hello, surprise.
Now you can see us.
So when we talk about value, so your value you get from your father. So people that are good public speakers, they're usually really devoted to their dad. And it's interesting when people come and sit with me and go, so tell me about your childhood. Tell me about your parents. Best. And they're like, so tell me about that. And then when we dig a little bit more, pedestaling is equally a problem because they're just human beings. When you pedestal someone, it's such an unrealistic expectation. But sometimes when we speak like that is because we long for them so much. So when a father isn't playful and they're just constantly emotionally unavailable, that equally is where addiction comes from. But also you just have you have other value, I hate using the word issues, but value issues. So I see lots of women and when their father wasn't emotionally there for them, they end up in relationships mimicking exactly that, where they are the leader in the relationship and they are always holding the space and they're the ones that support them emotionally. But then as soon as they start speaking about their emotions, it's like their partner's abort mission. It's like, I don't have the capacity for you. So it's like anything. For different people, it manifests differently depending on what your experience was.
It's very interesting. So a lot of the work you do goes straight back to past generational relationships and even beyond then.
Yeah, and what we're looking for is sameness.
It's comfortable and
and it's so what if you've heard of Gestalt therapy? So Gestalt therapy is we're only looking to the past because I want to know what's happening to you right now. So you're telling me, so you come to me and I go, what is it that you want today? And you go, I'm like, money comes really easy to me, but I feel like it goes straight away and I'm always in debt. Okay, that's interesting. So have you always been like this? And then we dig a little bit deeper. So you're telling me what you want is a better relationship with money. That's what you tell me, but I'm not hearing that, right? And that's my job. So while you're saying that, in the first 15 words, I'm going to let you talk and then I'm going to go, so tell me about your dad. So from what you say, I know it's rooted in the past, but it's a now issue. Because traditional therapies, and like V said before, was I went to 6-month therapy and in 4 sessions I got more out of it. Sometimes I get people that go, oh my God, I just got more out of 1 session. I've been in therapy for 3 years.
Yeah, like literally every session I was like, oh my God, I never saw it that way.
Absolutely, because a lot of the time my clients are coming to me because they want me to say, you're right. But that's sometimes sometimes we go to therapy because we need some reassurance that you're not crazy. You know, please tell me that this experience and the way I see it is correct. And I always sit and go,
for validation.
Yeah, because we're looking for, please tell me that my perception of this is accurate. And I always say to them, I'm not that therapist. I need to show you your blind spots. I need to show you where you are creating and an active participant in your own suffering. But equally, where you're loyal. The soul, so we call this a language of the soul, right? It's systemic therapy. So we want to look at the soul wants to belong. So in your family, you don't want to be people call it the black sheep, but you don't want to be ostracized. You don't want to be excluded. So we create these personas of how can I fit in? How can I be this person? Because we are conditioned to belong. we're meant to be in communities. So we will act and behave or even be loyal to our parents just to belong, even if it's harmful over long term.
Yeah, social acceptance is how we survived. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
But then when you get to peel it back, what you realise is I get to have this experience and I still belong. But it's our perception of what belonging actually means. We think if we're different, we can't belong. Or we label ourselves, I'm the black sheep. And it's like, no, I'm just having different experiences. So I think we've discussed before, and I've sat with my sister. We were born in the same house. But when we sit and talk about our life, it's like we lived a completely different family.
Yeah.
I've had similar conversations with my sister. We find it so interesting. You're like, okay, how did you perceive this? And she'll have a completely different view.
It's interesting that you both have sisters, and I do it with my brother, and he sees the world on a different level.
Different plane.
I'm like, wow, you're obviously also a guy, so your brain works differently anyway. But the way he was like thinking and talking about stuff now that he's been here when we were older and we had to get some really good quality time and chats, and I was like, oh my God, so interesting.
It isn't, but what it shows you is your journey and yours is different. So I believe that we each have a gift that no one else has, and right now in this lifetime, I am meant to fulfill my mission, whatever that purpose is, and it is different to my sister. My sister's not going to get in here and do a podcast with you. Like, our journey, so equally, she didn't experience what I did. She wasn't bullied and she didn't go through that because she wasn't meant to do this. But when people go, oh, my God, I can't believe you, and I am so confident in saying and so resilient in saying I would do all that again. If this is exactly where I land, then I understand why my journey was so different to my siblings. And I actually see it as a positive.
Yeah.
Right? That's what resilience is. Can you see the negative and the positive in a situation or an experience?
You're taking some truly deep meaning out of it too.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Like, you have choice, right? And you use the word perception, which I absolutely love that word. When you're in it, you can't see it. When you step out of it, you have this new view and you're like, it's like in systemic therapy, you have people go, I will never speak to my parents again. But as soon as I humanize their parents and the tears fall, because the arrogance and the pride that they generated was from such disappointment in their life that if anything, they deeply loved their parents. But because of this experience, they were deeply alone. But I needed to humanize their parents and go, what happened to them? And as soon as you say even that statement, they're like in tears going, because as a child, you're not aware that your parents have had their experiences. It's only when we get to this age where you start, if you're lucky enough, you start going, I wonder why they do what they do.
Really funny when I talked to my brother and he's like, oh, I saw this reel the other day and it said that your parents only on this world for the first time as well. It's their job for the first time. And he's like, oh, it makes more sense now. I was like, yeah, they're literally just giving it
trying as hard as they could with what they were given.
Literally.
Exactly what you just said. They can only give you what they have taken from their parents. And the way I see it is every generation has the opportunity to evolve their system. And there's always a courageous one that is doing that, right? So if my parents, like my grandfather left Italy, I think about it and we go, oh, life is so hard. And I'm like, are you joking? He left my grandmother and 3 children for 7 years in Italy while he came here to make money, build a life for them. So my dad didn't see his father from 3 till 10.
Wow.
Crazy.
And now we're a society that goes, you know, I can't believe my partner's like working away for 4 days. This is really inconvenient. It's like,
my granddad went to war.
you know, so their lives were so different. So they could only give what they took. So they were from war times and really difficulties, poverty and scarcity. And then when you talk about even moving, so moving countries, that's a trauma. Like, that's a lot. Leaving your roots is a lot. Leaving a family is a lot. So that equally is evolving you and the system as well. But it's like, for me, I want my container to be so big that I've taken so much. So I've taken what my parents could give me, and then I want to multiply it. Mm-hmm. And then I want to give that to my children. And like I say to them, I hope that you question how I did things, because you need to. Because I got lots of things wrong and I got heaps right. But your job then is going to be to evolve this, consciousness even more. If you want to give a name, you want to bring what's unconscious conscious through your system, if that makes sense.
So powerful.
It is super powerful. It's simple and powerful. We'll have to constellate you at some point.
Yeah. Well, I always find it interesting because, growing up, I'd be one of those people that's like, I had a good childhood. Everything was good. But, my sister and I will often have those talks about, like, different perceptions. And you're like, oh, well, what happened in that scenario? And what did you pull out of it? Because I'll behave in a completely different way than her to certain scenarios, and our coping mechanisms are completely different, but some things are the same. And we like to compare, and we always do a little trail back to, like, all right, what was happening when, Dad was looking over your spreadsheets of your budget with your money and you were sitting there trying to figure it out and couldn't. And I was just like, that's probably why I have an issue with my money now. We were like playing around with it in that way, and it was so interesting how you can tie things back, but then also having extreme compassion for where they were coming from, always from a place of love, and trying to give a skill set to me that would help me. And instead I was taking it a bit like, oh, I'm not good at this, attack, and then make that a not worthy thing. Whereas instead it ended up being, he was trying to give me a gift. And I was just like, nope, not going to take it.
And then receiving is from your mother.
Yeah.
So if you can't receive, there's an interruption there somewhere. And it's exactly what you say. He was, how many times now me and my sister laugh and go, oh, I wish I had actually listened back.
I'll be honest, I've been having this conversation lately, like so many of those lessons were on the mark and great, and I've taken them a completely wrong way.
I remember
I've gone on my own independent journey and come back to the same place.
Yeah, but equally, that's your journey.
Yeah. There's a lot of, it's a scenic route.
And, what I always say is you learn really quickly as a child how to get your needs met. And you develop patterns and behaviours that you witness in your family that get those needs met. So have you one sibling that is defiant and the other one that's a good girl? Because she's learned the defiant one causes certain thing and the other one goes, when I behave like this,
I get what I want.
but I get praised, even though it's so unhealthy, right? But then we take that out into the world.
Yeah,
to
this
everybody.
worked here. Why doesn't it work over there?
And then we're always bitterly disappointed because it's like, I give so much. And it's like, yeah, but you're giving because you want to take something, because you're not willing to ask for it. So you've created this identity. And, I remember it was not long ago. I remember my dad giving me and my sister this, when I think about it now, an amazing opportunity to buy a house that he had. And it was going to cost us peanuts. And me and my sister were like, we're not getting a loan. Absolutely not. We're going overseas. I went to go and live in Melbourne. I was saving. Don't be stupid. And we laugh now and go, can you imagine? If we had bought that house together, it was like a bargain. And we were so insulted, and there is no way that you could buy a house of what he was offering us. And it's exactly, but that wasn't our journey. We were meant to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
Or, it teaches you. Yeah, you still end up exactly where you're supposed to end up, with the lessons. And I say to my daughters all the time, I trust your journey. It's if there's parents listening to this, the best thing you can tell your children is, I trust you. I trust you. even if on the inside you're like contracting going, I don't really. It is the biggest gift you can give a child is that you trust them. You know, it's really important.
Another powerful insight. When you first started with the therapy, like how did you get into it and why do you decide to go such a different way?
So it started popping up on Instagram. So I was already working one-on-one with people and the weirdest things would happen. So I used to do lots of hands-on and I remember I'd put my hands on people and then I'd be like, oh, I can't say this to them. I would literally, you know, I remember saying to one person, you used to be a bedwetter, and she was like, how do you know that? So I would have this gift of, if you want to call it hands-on, body reading. And then people would sit in front of me and it would be more I would look at them and go, what's happened with you and your mother? And then this systemic therapy came up and I was like, oh, wow, this gives structure to what I'm naturally doing. I'm naturally getting into that space. And my partner had said to me once, you know, I've got a really good name for your business, Beyond Walls, because that is actually what you do. There's just this unfolding that happens. So when I saw his name's Tiziano Squerzo, I was like, I need to know more about this systemic therapy, and that's 3 years now. And what it did was it brings science and woo-woo together, and it really resonates for me. But it's not, I won't use it in every session because it's not necessary. Like, I will draw from whatever tools, but as a modality, it has so much merit. In Europe, they've been using it forever. Like, it's very common because it's actually rooted in Germany. A German called Bert Hellinger is the one that discovered it. And so it's German roots.
Of course.
And we are really starting to grasp, and just for extra measure, people that are very skeptical have an interruption with their mother. People that don't trust a lot. And in therapy, I represent their mother. So if they're triggered by me, I know exactly, you know, what's going on. Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
So interesting. You said that family stories shape how we show up in the world. And what's one thing you wish everyone understood about their family dynamics?
Acceptance.
I've had this interesting conversation with one of my friends when I talked to her about it. And when I try to make people think about things, I always tell them from my stories and hope that maybe resonates. And I said to her, I was like, I had to accept some stuff with my mom because I wasn't viewing her the way I wanted to view her. And then she had a completely very different upbringing. And she's like, but I don't know how to forgive my mom. Like, I've tried so many times to forgive my mom, but the stuff that she's done, and we've tried so many times, and her and her sister trying to support the mom, but quote unquote, the mom's a lunatic. And she's like, I just don't know. I've accepted it. And but for her, she was like, I can't just go out there and like love my mom the way other people do it because it's so hard for me to forgive her for what she's done. Do you have like any insights into that?
Yeah, absolutely. I hear that a lot. So in systemic therapy, we avoid forgiveness. It's acceptance. Because forgiveness says, like, if me and you have an argument and I come to you and I go, I forgive you, it puts me in like, I'm better than you. And regardless, what I hear when you talk about this friend is she was parentified. So they are in the place of a parent instead of being the children. So that's also pride, generating pride, because it's basically an F you, you've hurt me so much. I'm not putting myself in a position with you to hurt me again. And we understand that. We generate pride. However, over time, when I work with people, it's like we just need to find the resolve and the acceptance within. She's got her own battles. Can you accept what she has given you, though? so that you can move forward in life. Otherwise, you're going to have struggles with thinking that there's never enough money. You're going to have struggles in intimate relationships. You're never going to trust them. And so there's all these, what I would say to people is it's not about you need to go and sit on your mum's lap and, say, oh, you can, do that. It's such a bigger thing. And, you said something like I had to accept things about my mother. Remember, when people are saying things, I always say, how old are you right now when you talk about that experience? Because you're not that age anymore. And you're still looking for that in everyone that you meet, for this need that wasn't met or this not enoughness. And what you will find is what you don't accept in a parent, you're actually saying to yourself, that part of me that's like them, I don't accept either. So if you come to this acceptance, whether you like it or not, you're half your mum and dad, including the shit bits. I've learned that too, because I kept
physiologically,
because I kept avoiding. I had difficulties with my mum growing up, right? But I also now know her human experience, right? But it doesn't discard my experience, and it doesn't have to. But what was really confronting for me was I kept on internally, how many of you go, I'm never going to be like that. I'm never going to be like that. But guess what?
You heard that so often.
I became like that, and I was witnessing myself. It was like an out-of-body experience going, this is something so much bigger. You need to move to some acceptance so that you can move forward, so that you can kind of betray that system, we call it, accept it all, take it, betray it, and evolve it, taking a completely different path. To a soul that wants to belong, that's actually really difficult. We'd rather repeat their history.
Well, it's familiar.
And it keeps us belonging unconsciously, right? But consciously, it's not what belonging's about. Yeah.
Have you seen that quite a lot where anyone will see something in a parent and actively do the complete opposite most of the time to try and not end up like that, but then subconsciously that is what they're wanting to belong to, so it keeps sabotaging back?
Yeah, and the word that comes to mind is exclusion.
Exclusion.
So you see this a lot in separated parents and divorced, when one is so unresolved and they're like been angry for like 15, 20 years. They've excluded that parent. They talk bad about that parent. Guess what? The child meets someone. A representative, you always bring a substitute. Life brings a substitute. Whatever is not resolved, life is constantly trying to resolve the unresolved. We are always getting pushed. We generate anger. Anger is such a good emotion. It's trying to say, hey, move forward. But we get so invested in, anger's really bad. Not if it's generating you to make a change. So if I exclude, I'm divorced from my daughter's dad. We have a great relationship. It's taken a lot of time. But I am extremely careful with my knowledge now, my wisdom. I cannot interfere with their experience with their dad, and I cannot speak. Even if I don't agree with something, I have to remain neutral. That is their experience. They're born for that experience. They have what they need for that experience. If I exclude him, a substitute comes in his place. So you hear of people that go, their dad was like an alcoholic, blah, 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 and then the daughter ends up with a partner that's an alcoholic, because it's like, hang on a minute, you can't exclude. When we exclude, it becomes a real issue. So that's why we say there has to be some acceptance somewhere. And in life, one thing I've learned is I spent so much of my life going, why did that happen? Why did this happen? And we're humans. We want to know why, as opposed to I go, how can I find acceptance with this? And accept that everything is right. That's what systemic therapy brings is, if you come to a group session, you go, this is like the way things are in my family. And then we set up the constellation, and it's actually quite entertaining to see, and it's not at all what you say it is. And we're like, and they're like, but that's not it. And it's like, but it is. It is showing you this is as it is, but you don't want to accept that that's as it is. And that's what it comes down to. Life is so much about trust and acceptance. But we want certainty. We don't want to like lay our arms back and surrender. And, you know, the closer that you can get in systemic therapy to finding resolve, the more you kind of just surrender and life just starts to flow. So my life's completely transformed in the last 3 years since doing that. I just trust everything, you know. Even on a bad day, I'm like, still 90% is pretty damn good, you know.
Yeah.
You just learn, you evolve beyond those things.
If someone's listening right now and they feel stuck in like their food, their business, their relationships, what's one belief they probably need to question? Their trust.
Yeah. Like, how much are you outsourcing? So, you know, you're in fitness, so you see women that are constantly berating their bodies, and they're trying to, you know, there's a lot of shame in bodies, and we inherit shame too, by the way. So, yeah, so from anyone, it's like if you grew up with a mother that used to berate her body or was constantly on a diet, or they were fixated on how you look. Like I grew up in an Italian family, it's all about what you look like, you know. It becomes your source of value. So the first thing I would question is become really curious. Curious about your beliefs, curious about where are they rooted. Like if there's no trust, you have to go to that first relationship. So if you don't have trust around food, so the body, so that, you know, people that are mental, I was thinking about this on the drive, and when I say mental, overthinkers.
Yeah.
Every decision's made with your head. That tells me how much of an influence with your dad you are. You have not left his influence. So you have more masculine tendencies. So you'll be more structure and, you know, and, you know, and even though as women we go, oh, but I like train all the time. I used to teach like 9 pump classes a week, and I was so disassociated from my body. I did not trust it. That's why I did not.
You have to do
pumps.
more.
Yeah, and it's so the mind represents your dad, right? So you want an adult man. There's a balance though, right? And the body represents your mother. So think about why so many people don't trust their body. Where's that rooted? Tell me about your mum. Did you see her down? Did you see her not trust her body? Or then I'll go one more and go, what's her relationship like with her mother? So the link could actually be, they say up to 11 generations before. There's a lot with the grandparents and great-grandparents that I've noticed. So on my mum's family, there was the shame went down the line with the women a lot. So the first thing I would say to people is be really curious and start to ask questions, like understand your system, like your roots are, it's not until I got to this age or in the last 3 years that, you know, my roots are Italian. And when I go there, I feel like I'm home. And I've started calling myself Caterina. That's actually my real name. And I'm extremely proud of my roots. And I have these conversations with my father now where we talk about, I want to know more about what makes me this person. It's a collective effort, how I became. It's them, it's behind me. So if you don't understand that, you're going to have a real hard time understanding this.
Yeah, I think last time I went home, I started asking so many more questions because I was like, I actually don't know what my grandparents did. I don't know that. And I think you asked me if I know how I was born. And I was like, actually, no. And I still haven't asked Mum about that.
So if you want an interruption, so with a mother at birth is huge. So I remember Tiziana was saying to someone, people with no boundaries. So we're in a group setting and there's always that one person that just like shouts out and talks out or doesn't raise their hand, and he goes, were you forceps delivered? And I hadn't heard it yet, right? So I'm still learning. And he goes, were you delivered by forceps? And he says it in his thick Italian accent. And they're like, what? Like forceps. Were you like, oh, yeah. Why do you ask? Because you really speak out of turn. Like, and usually forceps delivered have an archetype to show you that they had an interruption at birth. Babies that get separated from their mother and are put in humidity cribs, you can really tell, and you ask about their birth. The rebirthing experience in family constellations is huge. And one of my mentors from Connecticut is actually coming over in March, and we're doing a 4-day event, and we're actually doing the rebirthing experience, and it's like open to 35 people. And he's a psychotherapist, a Gestalt therapist. So your birth and even conception, the whole thing is really, you'll get to understand lots of why your life has unfolded the way it has.
So interesting.
It's your first success. Birth.
Being alive.
Yeah.
But being born is a success, and how you were born is your first success.
So crazy.
It's fascinating.
It is.
And so understanding backwards helps you look forwards with more acceptance.
Yeah, I always think of Steve Jobs. He did this. I try and watch it once a year. He did a speech at university, and the first thing he said was, you can't join the dots in your life looking forward. It's only when you get to a point and you look back and you go, if I didn't, now I understand this point. But we're trying to, anxiety is when we're trying to preempt our future.
Yeah.
Instead of accept and trust the present moment that's going to take you to the future, you know.
But why do you think so many women end up in cycles of overworking, overeating, and overgiving?
We're so against our biology right now. I'll probably get haters for this. I'm here for it. But I think it's really important for me to be authentic. We're really against our biology. Women aren't meant to be doing what we're doing. We're different. We're biologically different to men. You know, we are. I was just saying I'm super proud of myself. I had a cleaner start today because...
You can't do it all.
And I don't want to. Like, and I'm okay with that now, you know. If people ask me, like, I don't want to. I am a full-time mother. I'm also emotionally there for my children because I'm no longer just wanting to be physically there because I was there for a long time, like surviving. You know, we call it, you want to be thriving. Like your children deserve you to be present. So as women now, we celebrate each other, which is quite sad, for how much we can do. And we're scared to say how much we don't do. I'm okay with saying I love working 3 to 4 solid days a week and that's it. And as I go further on my journey, I'm going to get that down to 3. Because I'm not going to glorify burnout. I was there for so long and my children didn't get the best of me at all. So we have infertility issues now with women. We have inflammation issues. We have so anything to do with the immune system looks at your mother as well. So we're so disconnected from our bodies because we are living life biologically as men. So we want to be entrepreneurs. I hate the word boss babe. You know, we're trying to be all these things, but we're not going biologically. Why am I so strung out? Is because as women, we're in systemic therapy, we're biologically more depressive. we're emotional beings. Mm-hmm. We need more recharge. We're actually meant to be slower in the morning. Mm. I don't know about you, but but I'm learning.
I had a slow morning today,
which is great. But it's learning to go. It's okay because obviously life happens, but to allow some of that, doing less, and let's start celebrating doing nothing. We're so scared to do nothing because we're either scared of what people will think. I want to be the person that walks in the room and when people go, oh, my God, and I'm like, how are you? I'm like, I'm great.
I'm chill
I had a cleaner today for 3 hours and you know what? I'd rather throw $120 at that because then guess what? I get to show up for my clients from an authentic, embodied place and serve.
Yeah.
And with a spotless house. It's probably even a better job than you.
Yeah, and it makes me feel really good. Yeah. So I think women need to give themselves permission to be women and equally have support systems around them, whether it's their partners, being okay with being vulnerable enough to say, it's how you say it as well. So inviting people in, I'm feeling really overwhelmed right now. Do you feel like you have some capacity to support me with this? Not damn yourself for it, but actually share in a way that it's okay. Like you get to lean into softness then. You know, I know that word masculinity, femininity, like it's been completely abused, but we should be able to lean into that softness and feel safe in our environments to embody that. Our natural biology, basically. And I think you'll notice a difference with fertility issues and we should train like women, not like men. We should train for our biology. I work in the waffle space for women in wellness. And, you know, I brought a naturopath in to teach them about their body and their cycles. Please can we stop celebrating losing your cycle because you're an athlete?
No.
That is not something to celebrate, but at some point that was celebrated. You know, women have a 65%, I think, increase of ACL injuries.
Yeah, they do.
For a reason, because our hormones are different. Can we train women and see them for their brilliance? Because we're like highly intuitive and we have all this wisdom. So women listening, like really start to connect with your bodies on a deeper level, not just a superficial level. I think it's really important.
I definitely agree with that 100%.
That's why we have women like you.
We're trying to
working
help.
in your industry. Yeah.
Attempting hard. Too hard.
There's that thing again.
There's that thing again. Actually, I wanted to ask about your conscious leadership as well, because you're tying in what you know from systemic therapy, or is it something different that you do there?
I weave it in sneakily.
You weave it in.
Because I want to be available to all people. So there was at one point where I was down that spirituality, and that's when you're lost, by the way.
Yeah,
and
too deep.
I just want to be human for people. So I go out and I work with businesses. It's one of my favourite things to do, and inspire them to be curious about anything that's happening. It starts with you. So my reaction to you is about me. Your reaction to me is giving you an opportunity. So I go out, the business might say, hey, can you come out, speak to the managers about communication? And so I'm very authentic in that though. I'm not just going to come out and read off a slide and something that's written in a book. I trust through my learnt experiences, well, communication and conflict is also a belief you have around what communication and conflict is. So everything always comes back to, where did you learn that communicating is a scary thing? Or where did you learn that asking for what you want ends really badly? So I weave it in, but yeah, we talk about all subjects. And the last one I did, this woman sat in on the third one. She's been with the business 25 years. She celebrated her 25 years. So we're all clapping. And at the end, she came up to me and she said, I'm really glad I sat in because I've been walking past the window for 2 days going, are they bored? Why are they so quiet? She goes, now I realise they were just really focused. And then she burst into tears and she said, thank you, because I bring the human experience to even the corporate setting because you can't separate the two. You're a human person having this experience because of your internal environment. Your internal environment is running your relationships. It's running your wealth experience. It's running your experiences in every way possible. And when I introduce myself, I always say I just want to bring what's unconscious conscious. I believe that's what I am here to do, is in a very gentle, loving, safe way, I want to just show you this thing that you do, but I want you to love yourself in that space. I don't want you to go, oh, my God, I can't believe I did that thing. And go, I now understand why I do that thing. And it's actually because I'm so scared to be rejected that I mould myself to fit every environment because I'm so scared that people are going to leave me because of my experience. And I will say this, if people leave your life, it is because you've evolved beyond an experience you want to keep repeating as well. Conscious leadership is cool. Yeah. I want to make it like exciting and personal, as opposed to when I hear the word corporate, I kind of like my whole body goes. What you're experiencing and how good your team is how good are they as individuals? And all the people it's funny, all the businesses that I work with are really big on supporting their individuals and mental health, which I can see. But you will notice even the people that as you align yourself and become more embodied, you will no longer attract clients that aren't aligned to you. And once you have that integrity and values, you will just say no. Like I'm quite okay with going, I don't want to work with you. Even that, they need to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
It's very powerful when you can turn away clients that you're like, nah, I know that it doesn't fit the vibe of the group. So, like, you actually got to damage the group more than do good.
They will respect you more if you can know what's out of your scope. There's heaps that's out of my scope. I'm not going to try and be someone that I'm not. People come to me that need my medicine. And then when I go, I don't have the medicine for you. I'm going to send you here. That's extremely important. I don't want my clients to continue to come to me every week and be codependent. I want to empower them that they might come every 6 months because something's going on in their life. But I don't want to create that in them. I want to empower them to go out in the world and be their best version, without thinking that they have a problem all the time. Stop doing the work. I'll say that as well, like stop doing so much work. Yeah.
That's brilliant. So if people want to find you, where can they go?
They can find me on Instagram. So it's Catherina Pulitano on Instagram. And I also have a website, which is caterinapulitano.com.au. It's brand new. And the actual business is called Beyond Walls Collective. And I wanted to use a word because it's forever expanding and evolving, and I love collaborating and stuff. So they can find me there. They can book sessions. I also do 4-week and 8-week mentoring as well. And, that's where they can find me.
Yay, brilliant.
So good.
In person or online.
Yeah. Or group settings.
Yes. I'm available if anyone wants me to come and do a group constellation for their business as well. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
So good. Thank you so much for coming on today.
I really appreciate you inviting me on. It's been great. Great conversation.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you for listening. Subscribe to hear more and stay updated when we release a new episode. But we would also love you to write a review if this episode has resonated with you. Remember that nothing changes if nothing changes. Reflect on what you have learned from this episode and message us your key takeaways. Until next time, keep showing up for yourself, take action for your health, and remember that you are powerful.